LeBron James makes history, donates $3 million to support typhoon and earthquake victims in the Philippines. The world's eyes were on Los Angeles that October morning. The air shimmered with quiet anticipation as reporters gathered outside the LeBron James Family Foundation headquarters. No one knew why they'd been called. There were whispers of a new business venture, perhaps a school expansion or a global partnership. But when LeBron walked in, dressed simply in a black hoodie emblazoned with "We Are One," there was something different in his eyes: gravity, empathy, purpose. He took the podium and spoke slowly, his voice steady but thick with emotion. "To my brothers and sisters in the Philippines, I see your pain. I hear your cries, and I stand with you. Today, I'm donating $3 million to help rebuild communities hit by the typhoon and earthquake, because when one part of the world suffers, we all suffer." For a brief, powerful silence, the room froze. Then the applause came, loud, raw, uncontainable. LeBron James, the king of the court, had once again stepped far beyond basketball to remind the world what true leadership looks like. The twin disasters. Only 2 weeks earlier, the Philippines had endured one of its darkest weeks in recent memory. First came Typhoon Mirasol, a Category 5 storm that tore through Luzon with unrelenting fury, winds howling at 270 kilometers per hour, swallowing homes, uprooting lives. Then, barely 3 days later, a 7.6 magnitude earthquake struck the Visayas region, toppling schools, hospitals, and bridges. The dual disasters left hundreds dead, thousands injured, and over 1 million displaced. The images flooded global news feeds. Families clutching makeshift signs begging for water, children sleeping under broken roofs, rescue boats wading through flooded towns. Half a world away, in Los Angeles, LeBron watched the footage late at night after practice. His wife Savannah sat beside him, quietly wiping tears. He leaned forward, his voice breaking the silence. "We can't just watch this happen." And with those words, a spark ignited, a heart that crosses oceans. LeBron's connection to the Philippines runs deeper than most fans realize. For decades, the Philippines has been a basketball-crazy nation. Courts in every neighborhood, from Manila's skyline to the smallest coastal villages. And through it all, LeBron's name was sacred. Kids wore his jersey even when they couldn't afford shoes. In poor barangays, murals of him towered over alleys painted with makeshift rims. In many ways, he had already lived in their dreams long before he ever visited. Back in 2016, during his Nike Asia tour, LeBron finally set foot in Manila. Tens of thousands flooded the Mall of Asia Arena, chanting his name until the floor shook. He smiled wide, soaked in sweat, raised the ball, and shouted, "The heart of basketball lives here." Since then, he had always held a quiet respect for Filipino people, their energy, their resilience, their love for the game. So when disaster struck, it wasn't charity that moved him. It was family, the midnight decision. LeBron's schedule was packed, training, family time, business meetings. But that night, he couldn't sleep. The images of devastation replayed in his mind. A father wading through waist-deep water with his baby on his shoulders. A young boy standing on the ruins of what used to be a school, still clutching a worn-out basketball. He picked up his phone and texted his foundation director, Michelle Campbell, a single message. "Let's move. I want to help the Philippines." Big. By dawn, conference calls began. His team reached out to international NGOs, the Philippine Red Cross, and the U.S. Embassy in Manila. Logistics, funding, partnerships, everything was mobilized within 48 hours. He wasn't just writing a check. He was organizing an operation of hope, the $3 million gift. On October 5th, 2025, LeBron made the official announcement. The $3 million donation would be divided into 3 main initiatives. Immediate relief efforts, $1 million for food, medicine, and temporary shelters across Luzon and Visayas. Reconstruction and education, $1.5 million to rebuild 2 destroyed schools and 1 community sports complex. Mental health and youth recovery programs, $500,000 for trauma counseling and youth workshops using sports as therapy. Each project will be managed by trusted partners on the ground, including the Philippine Disaster Resilience Foundation and UNICEF Philippines. LeBron's only request? Keep it people first. Let the money find the hands that need it most. The reaction in the Philippines. The news broke just before sunrise in Manila. Social media erupted. LeBron James just donated $3 million to us. The king is real. He didn't forget us. Philippines, thank you, LeBron. Mabuhay, LeBron. You are one of us now. In evacuation centers, people clapped and cheered when the announcement was broadcast over local radio. One elderly man, whose small fishing hut had been destroyed by the typhoon, smiled weakly and said, "He's never met us, but he sees us. That means a world." Basketball courts, many of them flooded or cracked, became gathering places again. Kids played barefoot, yelling LeBron every time they made a shot. For a country still reeling from pain, hope had just dunked through the darkness. The global echo. Around the world, LeBron's act resonated beyond headlines. Celebrities followed suit. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson pledged $500,000. Taylor Swift sent $1 million to UNICEF's Philippine Relief Program. The NBA released an official statement praising LeBron's humanitarian leadership. Even the White House issued a brief note, commending his global outreach. But for LeBron, none of that mattered. In a personal post on X, formerly Twitter, he wrote simply, "Basketball gave me a platform. Humanity gives it meaning." Within hours, the post had 12 million likes, the most ever on his account. The ground mission. To ensure transparency, LeBron's foundation dispatched a small delegation to the Philippines. Suddenly, compassion had momentum. 1 year later, a year after the donation, LeBron finally returned to the Philippines for a short visit. He walked through the newly built Hope Horizon Academy, surrounded by cheering children waving homemade signs. "Thank you, King LeBron." He stopped to watch a group of kids playing basketball under the morning sun. One of them, a boy named June, handed him a ball and said shyly, "Sir LeBron, this is for you. You helped build our home." LeBron smiled, knelt down, and replied, "No, kid, you built this with your strength." He took a shot on the new court, the crowd roaring as the ball swished cleanly through the net. And just like that, the king's gift had come full circle. Epilogue. The crown beyond gold. LeBron James didn't just donate $3 million. He donated hope. He proved that greatness is not measured by championships or records, but by compassion that bridges oceans. In the end, his legacy won't just live in highlight reels or trophies. It will live in the laughter of Filipino children rebuilding their dreams, in the classroom standing tall again, in every ball that bounces across a sunlit court that once stood in ruins. And somewhere in Samar, on the wall of the bright new school, hangs a single photo. LeBron James, smiling beside the words, "Strength knows no borders." Because sometimes the greatest assists aren't made on the court. They're made from the heart. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like, and share. Till next time.